Hey YouTube, today's gonna be a little TMI for some people. I just had a baby girl. Her name is Delilah Moon, and this video is gonna be about my birth story. So February 21st, I went to bed pretty early during the last week of my pregnancy. I was 39 weeks, went to bed around 8. It was still dark for winter, but early for me. Woke up, no big deal, midnight, had to go to the bathroom. Did not make it to the bathroom. That was something that's never happened before. I'm pretty tired. I go back to bed. I wake up again. When I stood up, I realized it had been pooling up inside of me, and I did not make it to the bathroom again. At this point, I know something's weird, but I'm just gonna wait it out. I go back to bed. I'm woken up by the alarm, the sun's up, my fiance's up, and I'm still in bed. I explain to him why I'm peeing myself, and he explains to me that no, this is probably my water's breaking. Googled it because I wasn't sure, but then I called the hospital and they told me they would have to check. I had my hospital bag packed and we got ready to go and headed out to get some food first. I went to Wawa, got a smoothie and a salad, and I ate as much as I could for it being 10 o'clock in the morning. Quite a ride to get to the hospital. I was still procrastinating in the parking lot. 11 o'clock and I got admitted into labor and delivery, given a gown, and as soon as I changed into my gown, I had my waters break all over the bottom of the gown. I had to wait for the strip test for my waters to continue to pool up inside me. Once the strip turned the right color, they started my IV, and they went ahead and bruised me, missed me all up and down, and eventually got it in my hand. I'm pretty grossed out about things like IVs. I wanted them to cover it for me, and they didn't have anything in the hospital to cover it except for a baby cap. They put a baby cap over my hand and cut the top of the hat. So it would cover the part. So they start gradually bringing up my Pitocin till it's all the way up, and at that point I don't want any pain management, but I'm asking for nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is the stuff they give you in the dentist when they call it laughing gas, but nitrous oxide in labor and delivery is much stronger. Every time I'm getting a contraction, my fiance is letting me know on the monitor, and I'm just breathing in the nitrous oxide, not paying attention to anything but my breathing. I was checked several times throughout the day, and I had not progressed. I was at 0-0, which means she had not dropped, had not thinned out whatsoever, and I had not started dilating. By the end of the day, we realized that I wasn't gonna be able to pop out a baby and I should get some rest for the next day. They started gradually bringing down my Pitocin and gave me some sleep/pain medicine in my IV, and I had to go to sleep with that IV that I hated. Around 5 a.m. it was shift change, and I went ahead and woke up and heard them saying, we need to start bringing up your Pitocin right away. So right back on to bringing up the Pitocin gradually. About 24 hours in, they had brought it all the way back up and we were still having no progress. And they bring in someone to brief me on the possibility of a C-section. They tell me that I need to remove all my body jewelry, and I tell them that I have 2 rings in my mouth that I cannot get out myself. The nurses come back with tools that I'm supposed to use to remove the 2 rings in my mouth. They're supposed to be able to assist me, but realize that they cannot, and I struggle to do it myself, bent over with my bump over a sink, trying to get as close as I can to this mirror with my IV caddy behind me. The nurses leave and I continue to struggle. Eventually, at the end of it, I'm screaming, I can't do this, I can't do this. Doctors and nurses can hear me in the hallway, and they come in to inform me that there are other options they can do to get me to start dilating. One of which was a pill, and another was a balloon that they insert inside of you. I'm crying. I'm literally in panic mode. I'm breaking down that I'm having, no progress in anything. I can't do these little things that I was so prepared to do, and this just set it off. I couldn't communicate well. They had to leave. They brought in the C-section lady and she said, "Why are you being so unwilling to comply with a natural birth?" My brain is fried. I can't even explain to her either. I'm having trouble communicating why I'm so drained. I'm having a panic attack, not the pain I'm struggling with. I don't want an epidural right now. They wanted to do as much as they could for me, but I literally couldn't talk. She explained to me that she had 2 other C-sections to do before me, and then she could get to me. When she leaves, I'm crying, tears of joy. I'm ready for this epidural. Epidural equals baby immediately to me. They send in the scrubs for my fiance to get dressed in for the operating room. We wait for a good 2 hours, and about 1:30 they wheel me into the operating room. They let my fiance sit outside while they try and start my epidural with first a numbing agent. They insert a little butterfly needle, but it feels like a bee sting. I've had a bee sting. Bee stings are worse. They explained to me that the epidural needle itself can sometimes be too far to the left or to the right, and to let them know. Of course, they missed. Took more numbing agents and more epidural sticks as the blood rushed down my back and into my butt, and they were in and out of the room the whole time, and my fiance was able to see the struggle of me trying to sit with my bump hunched over, and it was just my ribs and everything was just messing with me so hard. That was the hardest part of the OR, was sitting still for them. Once they got it in the right place, they put me flat down on the table and started raising my legs so it would go up into my ribs. Once it went into my ribs, my arms started shaking, and they had brought my fiance in at this point. So a nice nurse explained to the both of us that the medication can sometimes make you shake, but I'm scared. I'm shaking and scared, and I don't want them to put down my arm. Talked to the nice nurse who offers to put on some music for me. She picks out some Imagine Dragons. They are already operating on me, just gossiping down there the whole time, and I had no idea what was happening until half hour in. I heard her first cry, and I cry, and I can't see her, and my fiance is waiting with me for him to have her in his arms. Miss Delilah came in at a healthy 7 pounds, 1 ounce, 19.5 inches at 2 o'clock exactly, February 23rd, 2018. I'm just saying, she's so beautiful. She sounds so beautiful. Why does she sound so beautiful? As soon as my little bean burrito with her little bow hat that I brought for her had been placed in his arms, I just wanted her as close as I could get while my arms were shaking, and she couldn't open her eyes for me. The OR is so cold and so bright. I'm just kissing her sweet little face, and I become nauseous from all the surgery. She tells me this is normal, and she has a scent packet. She gives me the mint scent packet, and all is well. I am just hoping she'll open her eyes for me, and at the end of it, I only got a peek. Lucky Daddy gets to bring her out of the OR and into what would have been my delivery room. I'm placed from one table to another effortlessly with these leg compressors, and Kath's whole team takes me, and I'm still numb. It takes a while to wear off, and I have that wear off while I'm in my labor and delivery room with the rest of my family. Wasn't able to eat. I was too busy, trying to get her to eat. 6 months later, here's Miss Delilah Moon. And brush out the bath. Brush out the bath bean. Is that right, Bean? Yeah. Bye, YouTube.